Next speaker is a little bit ill, aren't you, Sam? But you're all right. You're good. Lectern or run around?
I can stay here. It's fine.
So, just for the intro, I mean, a couple of years ago, when the Webbies introduced the advertising categories, there was a bit of a reaction from the kind of web purists, thinking that web advertising wasn't part of the web, and obviously that's rubbish, because most of the things that we love on the internet are some way in cahoots or involved with advertising, rely on advertising. Maybe the reason why we hate it is because most of it's rubbish, and the reason why Sam's up on stage is because he's Lean Mean Fighting Machine are one of the companies actually making good advertising.
Yep.
That's fair enough.
Yeah, nice of you to say so, thank you.
Yeah. This year they picked up Agency of the Year at the Cannes Advertising Festival, whatever that is. But they also picked up the coveted Webby Award for your work with Emirates. So I'm going to hand over to Sam. I think your clicker's there. I think you're ready to go.
I don't actually need a clicker. Oh yeah, good evening everyone. Yeah, Nick said I'm a bit under the weather, so I'll try and get through this with as much clarity and gusto as possible, but I do apologise if I have the odd cough and splutter here and there. So I'm the creative director at Lean Mean Fighting Machine, and we're a digital advertising agency who use the internet to sell things to people or persuade people to do things. Now, I got sick to death with kind of answering the same questions about kind of digital media. Questions like, oh, how it's all kind of connected these days, or questions like how people consume media. So rather than kind of constantly answer these same questions, I wrote a song about it. So if anyone answers me questions, I just send them this song. So Nick, if you want to play it, it's not an original score, but...
Are you ready for them? So let's boot it up. The Delta Rhythm Boys.
Ezekiel connected them. iPhones, Ezekiel connected them. iPhones, Ezekiel connected them. iPhones, now hear the word of the Lord. Them phones, them phones, them iPhones, them phones, them phones, them iPhones, them phones, them phones, them iPhones, now hear the word of the Lord. Your billboard connected to your banner connected to your weblog, your weblog connected to your widget connected to your Facebook connected to your Flickr connected to your MySpace connected to your YouTube connected to your Stumble Upon connected to your email connected to your chat room connected to your Xbox. Now hear the word of the Lord. Them phones gonna walk around. Them phones gonna walk around. Them phones gonna walk around. Now hear the word of the Lord. Them phones, them iPhones, them phones, them iPhones, them phones, them iPhones. Now hear the word of the Lord.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed that, because it kind of gets onto my first point, and that is, I think we take this industry far too seriously, and and we should be having more fun. There's like a new spirit in advertising, and like a new era. But all you have to do is flick through the kind of like the journals and get to about page 3, and there's some kind of suited, bespectacled kind of bloke telling you how the future's going to be. But the truth is that the agencies and the people who have fun creating advertising, but other things, are the ones that are really going to kind of thrive in this kind of new media, despite all the change. So then I want to talk about change, really, because there's new applications come along all the time that enable you to talk to people in new ways and consume media in different ways. and you'll find it hard to keep up with them all. So my best advice, I think, is actually concentrate on the things that don't change. So I'd just like to read you this quote. "It took millions of years for man's instincts to develop. It will take millions more for them to even vary. It is fashionable to talk about the change in man. A communication must be concerned with an unchanging man, with his obsessive drive to survive, to be admired, to succeed, to love, and to take care of his own." Now, some of you, if you're in the advertising industry, might recognise that as a Bill Bernbach quote. He was like a pioneering ad man back in the 60s in New York. And I think kind of all agree what he said was as relevant today as it was back then, and will be relevant in years to come. So my 2 points might seem kind of like really obvious, kind of like have fun and don't worry about this change, think about what stays the same, but they're kind of easily forgotten. So I thought, I don't know, I need to be constantly reminded of it, so I thought some of you kind of might be as well. So have fun, don't worry about the future. None of us really know what we're doing in this kind of business, so what's the point of worrying about it? And don't worry about change, kind of worry about kind of the kind of motivations and instincts, why people like things and why they want to do it. And if you do that, I think everything's going to be fine. Thank you.